What's good, YouTube? Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to another reaction video. We got the game that made Josh Allen a superstar. Let's check this out.
Josh Allen is easily one of the best quarterbacks in the NFL. He's
Facts.
talented,
Josh Allen is so exciting to watch, bro.
He's a winner.
Especially when this nigga is running to the right side of the field and just throwing absolute dimes to the other side. He been doing this since college too.
Many Buffalo fans were even disappointed by his selection with the 7th overall pick in 2018. Well, now that we have seen number 17 play since he entered the league, pretty sure those fans aren't complaining anymore. But when did it happen?
Buffalo fans did say they didn't like this pick when they first drafted him.
Of the game that made Josh Allen a superstar.
Okay.
In Josh Allen's first season as a pro, his play on the field was certainly rough around the edges, and Buffalo went 5-6 with Allen leading the offense. In the second year, despite statistically underwhelming, he did lead the Buffaloes to a 10-6 record and a playoff berth, where they ultimately fell just short against the Houston Texans.
Then that was
the jury was
2019.
still out on Allen going into his third season, but along with the help of a newly acquired Stefon Diggs, he took a major leap.
Do y'all think Josh Allen's playing better with or without Diggs, bro? I think he's doing just fine without Diggs. I ain't gonna lie to you.
Yards and 37 touchdowns. The Bills saw even more success in the playoffs in 2020, winning games in both the wild card and divisional rounds against the Colts and Ravens before bowing out against the
we're not gonna talk about that 2020 season, bro.
Chiefs in the AFC Championship. Going into a critical 2021
this nigga go to sideline touchdowns and shit.
Had disproven anyone who had ever doubted that he would be successful in the NFL. Statistically, he was among the league's best quarterbacks. He was viewed as such by the general public, and although he didn't know it yet, he still hadn't played the game that would permanently cement him as an all-time player in the NFL landscape. Things didn't come quite as easily to the 2021 Buffalo Bills as they did the year prior. A 4-1 start solidified them as one of the best teams in the NFL, but after a deflating loss
he loved fucking up the Bills, bro.
In the Tennessee Titans, Allen and the Bills entered a mid-season slump. From week 6 to week 13, the Bills went 3-5, which coincided with the string of careless turnovers from Josh Allen, who had
Josh has done a better job this year at not turning the ball over, bro. You know what I'm saying? Because that's been one of his biggest problems, turn the ball over. But he does make up for it with touchdowns and shit like that. But I'm happy to see him not turn the ball over that much this year.
Lost over that.
I don't think he's throwing a single pick too.
7-6. The Bills faced a crossroads entering the last 4 weeks of the season. Fortunately for them, the final stretch of their schedule featured very easy opponents, and Allen was able to secure 4 straight victories and gain some confidence back to conclude regular season play. Allen's stats regressed slightly from his shocking 2020 season, throwing for 4,400 yards and 36 touchdowns with a few more turnovers, but he still remained in the upper echelon of NFL quarterbacks that year. Buffalo's 11-6 record was good enough to lock in the 3 seed and earn them an easy wildcard matchup against the Mac Jones-led Patriots, who outperformed expectations but were simply outclassed by a juggernaut Bills squad. Allen threw 5 touchdowns and over 300 yards on the day, easily snatching a 47-17 playoff victory, with the first-seeded Titans earning the bye and set to face off against the second-year Joe Burrow's Bengals team. The Bills now matched up against Patrick Mahomes and the defending Super Bowl champion Kansas City Chiefs.
I think I remember this game.
That made Josh Allen a superstar.
I ain't gonna lie, this might be the greatest game I've ever witnessed live. I'm not even gonna lie to you, bro. Especially the ending, like the last 2 minutes of that game was absolutely insane. I think it was 4 touchdowns scored in the last 2 minutes.
Both regarded as two of the best young quarterbacks in football, but Allen had much more to prove.
Every time those two go against each other is absolute, you know what I'm saying, absolute fucking fireworks, bro.
Playoff games in recent memory, with many comparing it to a young Tom Brady and Peyton Manning dueling it out in the AFC playoffs.
I could see that.
What no one knew, though, is that it would go down as one of the greatest games in NFL history. The Bills received the opening kickoff and methodically marched down the field, with Allen keeping it himself on a 4th and 2 at midfield to extend the drive. Quickly, Buffalo found themselves on the brink of first blood, just 1 yard shy of the goal line. A few Chiefs stops orchestrated by Chris Jones put the Bills in another 4th down scenario. And although most teams would kick a field goal here, that's simply not how you beat the Kansas City Chiefs. Sean McDermott's decision to keep the offense on the field paid off, and Devin Singletary waltzed into the left corner of the end zone to open the scoring. The Bills walked into Arrowhead, one of the toughest environments to play in January, and had their way with the Chiefs Chiefs defense, immediately setting the tone. Of course,
That's why it's so important to not allow these niggas to get home field advantage, bro.
Into his own hands by diving to the pylon.
But even last year, bro, they didn't have home field advantage
By the Chiefs,
other than one game.
Several punts followed, but it was Kansas City who was first able to capitalize, leading a 12-play, 86-yard touchdown drive to take a 14-7 lead and milk most of the remaining clock in the first half. But when the Bills received the ball with just a minute and 52 seconds left, Allen led one of the most perfect touchdown drives you'll ever see. In under 90 seconds, Josh Allen drove Buffalo back down the field.
This was Gabe Davis' best game, too.
55 yards.
They got over 20 yards, 4 touchdowns.
Coming on 2 scrambles. The drive ended with Allen leaning on his back
Look
foot,
at that
throwing a seemingly effortless touchdown to an open Gabe Davis at the goal line, tying the score at 14-all. The Chiefs started the second half hot, but a holding penalty in the red zone eventually caused their opening drive to stall out, resulting in a Harrison Butker field goal that barely squeezed through the uprights. A quick Bills 3-and-out let Mahomes get the ball right back, and this time they took full advantage, racing down the field for another touchdown. When everything seemed to be going Kansas City's way, a botched extra point attempt from Butker gave Bills fans a sliver of hope, but the Chiefs still led 23-14. Just like when the Bills had faced a crossroads earlier in the season, when they sat at 7-6, they faced one now. These types of situations are where bad teams crumble and great teams find a way. Andy Reid and the Chiefs have more playoff experience than just about anyone, and when they find a 2-score lead in the second half, they almost never let it go. The problem for KC is Josh Allen isn't your average quarterback, and he wasn't going.
And the Bills had one of the best defenses at that time too, which was surprising how they just allowed the Chiefs to go down the field with 13 seconds left, bro.
Throwing an absolute beauty, almost 60 yards in the air that landed right in the outstretched arms of Gabe Davis, who took it all the way for a 75-yard touchdown. The Bills were officially back. That play was the shot in the arm that they so desperately needed, and now they found themselves only down 2 with over 16 minutes left to play. Another series of punts followed before Tyreek Hill returned a Bills punt from deep in their own red zone all the way back to the 16-yard line, setting up the Chiefs in prime position to take another 2-score lead. But this time, the Bills' defense came up huge, stuffing the Chiefs on 3 straight plays to force another Butker field goal, keeping the game in the balance at 26-21. This is where the game truly turned on its head. It had already been a great performance from both teams, but the ensuing possessions are what truly made this a legacy game that would intertwine Mahomes and Allen for the rest of their careers. The Bills hadn't had a long drive since their 13-play opener, but when they needed it most, Allen absolutely delivered. Josh Allen and the Buffalo Bills converted 3rd and 3 at their own 32, 3rd and 4 at their own 43, 3rd and 1 at the KC 39, and 4th and 4 at the KC 30, just to somehow keep the drive alive. But still, they simply could not break into the red zone and faced 4th and 13 at the Kansas City 27.
This was a crazy-ass play right here, bro.
Seconds remaining.
I think this was a touchdown to Gabe Davis, right?
The Chiefs made a rare game-changing mistake, leaving Gabe Davis wide open in the end zone for his 3rd touchdown of the game.
The route he put on Mike Hughes, oh my gosh.
Followed was almost
that nigga Mike Hughes ain't know what to do, gang.
Up the middle, Allen ran backwards past the 20-yard line before angling back towards the line of scrimmage and throwing a crossbody dart to Stephon Diggs in the back of the end zone. The Bills now led for the first time since the opening drive of the game, 29-26. Mahomes had under 2 minutes to pull out whatever magic he had left and win this game, but he didn't even need it. After a few quick completions, Patrick Mahomes hit Tyreek Hill in stride on a slant route, who used breakaway
that was insane, bro.
The Bills defense snatching the lead with just 1 minute.
I'm like, bro, this is some Madden shit right here.
Time for Buffalo. Every time Allen led a touchdown drive, the Chiefs immediately answered. But now he had 55 seconds on the clock and a chance to get the
another touchdown pass to Gabe Davis.
Allen sliced up the Chiefs secondary, completing pass after pass to Davis. But Buffalo just had no time. They were 56 yards downfield from where they started, and they still needed 19 yards with as many seconds remaining. But then, just like it had all game, the Allen and Davis connection came through once more. Allen dropped back in the pocket before threading the needle between two Chiefs defenders, placing the ball right on Davis's hip and taking the lead back for what would surely be the
I thought it was over right there, bro. But if there's anything I learned from this game, bro, never count out Mahomes with 13 seconds left on the clock.
Time and time
like,
again,
bro,
Allen had to make a play, and he did.
Who would have thought they would have got down the field in field goal range with 13 seconds?
From getting his way.
And Buffalo was, I think they had the #1 ranked defense at this time as well.
The AFC Championship, and Josh Allen got his legacy game in the history books, throwing for 330 yards and 4 touchdowns. Unfortunately, as I'm sure you already know, there's another reason why this game went down as the greatest playoff game of all time. In just 13 seconds, the Kansas City Chiefs somehow got into field goal range and tied the game at 36 apiece. While Arrowhead erupted, Bills fans everywhere were stunned, and everyone in the entire world knew that whoever won that coin toss would go on to win the game. As
because none of the defense could get a stop, bro.
And without hesitation, drove down.
They were both defenses were so fatigued.
A more crushing defeat than what Josh Allen felt that day, especially because of how well he played. Despite the loss, Allen has never been looked at the same by the media. Before, he was seen as turnover prone and still had some major doubters, despite all the success he had in the previous season. But from that day onward, Allen was never doubted again. The Bills still haven't cashed in with a championship during Allen's tenure, but everyone knows that with the right pieces around him, Allen has the potential to be a Super Bowl champion. Who knows? Maybe this is the year. Despite losing Stephon Diggs, Gabe Davis, and Jordan Poyer in the offseason,
Micah Hyde as well,
Buffalo has gotten off to a great start. No one can say yet whether or not Allen will ever get his ring, but regardless, he will be remembered in history for decades to come for orchestrating the greatest football game of all time, the day that he truly became a superstar.
Hey man, I want to know what you guys think down in the comments below. Y'all let me know what other NFL videos you want me to react to. Without further ado, I'm out. Gang!